Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what's up? This is my review, I guess. My thoughts on Kirby Return to Dreamland, I believe is the title. Honestly, this game came out of nowhere. I don't even remember if it was announced at E3 or not, but my brother added it to the GameFly list. Came. Unfortunately, I wanted Uncharted, but we got this instead, so yeah, I figured it's a new game, why not review it? Yeah, so Return to Dreamland came out of nowhere. I don't have much experience with the Kirby series. Like I played the first one on the NES, and then I played, I think, Kirby's Dream Course was the title. It was basically golf. It was a Super Nintendo game, but it was like golf, but with like a weird Kirby twist on it. Like you can get powers and stuff, and it was a pretty interesting game. I had a lot of fun with that when I was younger. So I'm kind of a newbie to the series, so whatever. Alright, so Kirby. New game came out, I think, this week. I will start with my, I guess, likes and dislikes. Or you know what? Nah. I'll start with my overview first. Alright, so I'll start with the story first. Story. There really isn't much story to Nintendo games, honestly. This one especially, it's very bare bone. It basically, this spaceship crashes on Kirby's planet or whatever, and Kirby just happens to be flying by, and he gathers up all of his friends. He's got Meta Knight, he's got this weird, I think it's like a standard monster that you can swallow, but for some reason this guy's hanging out with Kirby. And then you got the Dedede guy, the Bird King or whatever. I don't even know what he is. He just looks like a weirdo. So basically those four dudes are like, you know what, let's go help this guy out. They go over to the alley and they're like, okay, we'll help you rebuild your ship, which gives you pretty much your mission to go find the 5 parts scattered across the 5 worlds. That's basically the plot. Once you get the parts, you go over to his planet because he's like, hey man, you know what, you guys did such a good job, I'm gonna take you over to my planet. And just like children getting into a molester's van, alright, let's go. And then shit hits the fan, and you find out who the bad guy really is, and you kill him within like the next half an hour, actually. So I don't know. Nobody really dies. It's like I said, it's a Nintendo game. It's meant for children. It's not a game you're gonna play for story. It's not a game you're probably gonna play again after you beat the story mode. So story, I'm gonna say I disliked it. There's no reason to even. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Fuck the story. Gameplay. Gameplay to me is the highlight of the game. It's pretty much the highlight for every Nintendo game, really. But so gameplay. Starts off, you have an overworld, right? It's your standard overworld. You got basically, it's like Donkey Kong. It's like Mario. You can select which world you want to go to. Once you go to that world, you can select the stages within that world. So basically, if you're on World 1 and then you go to Level 1, it'd be Level 1-1 or Level 1-2, 1-3, and so on. Each world has about, I think, 5 levels, yeah, somewhere around there. A couple changed it up. Like there'll be, I think, Level 6 has only 3 worlds, maybe, or World 6 has 3 levels. But then some of them have like 6 levels or 7 levels. So it is pretty long. Like some of the worlds are pretty long, but some of the levels are really short though. Like there'll be a level you could blow through in like a couple minutes. Then there'll be like a level that'll take you like 15 minutes. So the level design it's pretty good, but again, this game is made for children, so it's not anything hard. So in case you have never played Kirby, it's basically a 2D platformer. Kirby has the ability to suck up his enemies and take their powers, but not every enemy has powers, so you can't get a limitless amount of powers. So usually you pick up an ability and keep that for the whole level. Which brings you to other abilities that can help you unlock other things. Like let's say you're on an ice level. If you get fire, you can melt certain blocks and go behind there, get a collectible and stuff like that. But the game itself is just a very basic platformer. It's go from the start of the level, go right to the screen, and get to the end. the level, like the levels, like I said, aren't very hard, but they do seem to try to mix it up a little bit. They'll add a couple like challenging parts to some of the levels. Like Donkey Kong basically just ramps up the difficulty. This game, they ramp it up, then they tone it back down a little bit. So like I think it was around World 3 maybe. Like it was like an ice place. That place was pretty hard, but then you go to like a lava place, and lava place is like so much easier. So just the levels, I think they're very simple. The gameplay is very simple. They do switch it up though. Basically, you have your abilities, right? Each ability has not every ability, but some of them do have quite a bit of like background. So for like, let's say you absorb the ninja ability. You know, normally I think in the old Kirby games you'd have like maybe a couple attacks with it. This one, oh my god, they go like all out. Basically, you have your jump and your attack button, but if you hit attack when you're in the air, you could possibly do like 3 different moves. Like if you're holding down an attack, you'll do like a down kick. If you hold attack when you're in the air, you can do another attack, and if you like hold over and do it, you'll do another attack. Or like if you hit up down and then you attack, you'll have another move. I'm just talking about random shit, but it just seems like a lot of these abilities have a lot of depth, but some of them don't. Like for example, the tornado ability. You only have like 1 or 2 moves you can do with that. Yeah, you go over to like the magic beam or whatever. That thing has like, if you jump, you can do like a steady blast. You can do like a rapid blast. You can do like a whip blast. And I don't know. It just some of these things are really unbalanced. Like I don't know if they didn't put much work into them, or they just didn't see what else they could do with those abilities. But it's a little disappointing to see some of those moves like that. I talked a lot about that for no reason. Alright, let's get back onto it. For gameplay also, there's a lot of challenges and collectibles, and basically your collectibles are what unlock your challenges. And really, I don't even see a reason to do the challenges, because all you get is a high score, and I don't think it unlocks anything after that. And since there's no achievement system, I have no reason to complete this game 100%. I did get like 60% though, so meh. Alright, so yeah, basically from the overworld you just go into your level, you beat the level, you go back to the overworld, go to the next stage, beat that stage, go back to the overworld, so on. However, it is pretty cool that you can go to the spaceship where you're repairing it and all that. They have like an area where you can restock on your powers and switch abilities and do some challenge mode, mini games, stuff like that. So they do have a little bit more to go back to once you beat the game. I don't know. Honestly, it's not really for me. It really is a children's game. Kids are gonna love this game. At least I think they will. Well, at least Nintendo fans will. I don't know. A lot of Nintendo fans seem to love their offline completion rates. Like a lot of the Mario games and Donkey Kong games have percentages, and I know a lot of Nintendo fans who actually go back and complete all of that. So I'm pretty sure it'll appeal to them a lot. So I am gonna approve of gameplay just because it was a pretty enjoyable, I think 4 or 5 hours it took me to beat it. Sound, I am gonna say it was pretty good. There is a lot of familiar music and a lot of familiar sound effects you'll hear a lot, like Kirby's sucking sound, his sword swinging sound, like a lot of it sounds the same. Like from Brawl and stuff, but in the end though, I'm not gonna re-listen to this soundtrack again. It doesn't really appeal to me that much. I don't know. Donkey Kong didn't really appeal to me that much either. And Mario, what was the new Mario? Oh, New Super Mario Wii, I think it was called. That one didn't really appeal to me much either. I honestly think Nintendo is losing their skills with the music. So I'm not gonna approve of sound just because it's another generic Nintendo soundtrack. I will say that I will give them credit for not going orchestral, like I think the new Zelda game is, which is kind of stupid. So, I prefer older music. Okay, let's get to my likes and dislikes. Alright, so the game is played with a single Wiimote. You basically hold it sideways like a NES controller. Use your 1 and 2 button as your A and B. You use your D-pad. A button is your block button, which I didn't even know about until like the end of the game, which is pretty funny. It is pretty useful though. Like you can't block forever like in Melee, or like you know in Brawl, if you hold your block button down, it like stuns you. Same thing in this game. Yeah, it's basically, I don't know. I love Wiimote, like the Wiimote sideways. I don't like having a nunchuck. I don't like having a classic controller. I like holding it sideways. I think it's really good that way. I like the drop it co-op. Basically, let's say you're playing solo, you get another person in the room, they pick up a Wiimote, they hold down the plus button, it adds them into the game. If they hold the minus button, it makes them pop out of the game. Like no load screen, no nothing. It's perfect. Love that. And then another like I have. There is a lot of powers in this game. So much that I don't even think I got them all. Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, a lot of them do have a lot of depth to them, like the ninja ability, the magic beam ability, the spear ability, some of the sword. I think it was sword or cutter. One of those have this pretty deep shit. Yeah. So a couple of my favorites would be the ninja. I like the fighter one a lot. That one's pretty cool. And just let me throw in another one. I will say I like the water ability. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so my dislikes. They reuse the same bosses a lot. I don't know why, but you'll fight the same bosses a lot. Which is kind of funny because you beat these bosses 2 or 3 times each throughout the game. And then at the very end of the game, on the last level, you're just like, you go super Kirby basically, and you fight all these bosses and one hit each of them. So it's kind of like, Kirby, if you could go that strong before, why didn't you stay in that mode and just like blow through the game? So, yeah, stop reusing the same bosses. Bosses aren't intimidating if you fucking smack them 10 times in a row. Some of the powers are unbalanced, like I was saying earlier. Well, basically, some of them have a lot of moves, some of them don't have many moves, some of them are really strong, some of them don't really do much. For example, the leaf ability. I didn't really find the leaf ability to be that strong. There's that one. Shit. I didn't really find the fire or the ice one, or no, the electric one. Yeah, the electric one and the rock one. They were okay, but they didn't shoot or anything, or they didn't really have any range. So basically, if anything gets near you, you just activate it. So I didn't really like that. And then of course the game is easy. It's so easy that I died maybe, like just playing through the game, I only died a couple times, but really the only deaths that I felt that I lost on purpose were the boss fights, which they really are the only skilled parts of the game. So I think it could be a lot harder. Like New Super Mario and Donkey Kong, those are perfect examples of difficulty. Like you can die a lot, and if you die, they start you back in the like either at a checkpoint or at the beginning of the game, or not at the beginning of the game, the beginning of the level. This game is like, oh, psh, you died? Well, let's respawn you like 2 feet back there with 1 of your lives. So fuck that. Oh yeah. Also, if you're in co-op, if your partner dies, they just basically teleport back to where you're at. It's kind of weird. Let's talk about my overview though. So I had 3 likes, 3 dislikes. I played it for 5 hours. I think I have a fair understanding of the game since I completed it. Alright, so this game is a very basic 2D childish platformer. You know, it's not very deep, but I think that, I don't know, Kirby's not really meant to be that big of a game or anything, so I think it's kind of cool that the power-ups and collectibles give you a little bit more to do, like learning all of their abilities and going back and using their abilities to get certain collectibles. It's pretty cool, but it's not really for me. The music and the story are typical Nintendo stuff that I don't really care about. I think they're stuck in their roots, like they can't get out of there. I really think they should start maturing up their stories or something. They're just losing my interest with every game. Yeah, so I would not buy this game. I would rent this game. If you buy it, make sure you get it as a Christmas present, because you really, I don't know why you'd want to buy this game. It's not worth the money, in my opinion. It's short. It's easy. I don't know. Whatever. That's my thoughts on Kirby Return to Dreamland. Okay, there's my email. Alright, bye bye.